Caitlin Clark joined Sunday Night Basketball for 2 NBA games. Caitlin Clark is headed to the NBA, at least for a couple of nights. NBC announced Tuesday that Clark, the Indiana Fever star with an enormous following within the game, is joining the network's pregame coverage for its debut of Sunday Night Basketball.
Just when you thought the Caitlin Clark phenomenon couldn't get any bigger, just when you assumed she was taking a break to prepare for the upcoming WNBA season, NBC drops a bombshell that has reverberated throughout the entire sports world. Welcome back, everyone, to another deep dive into the business of basketball. Today, we aren't discussing rumors or speculation. We are covering a confirmed, game-changing move that places Caitlin Clark squarely at the center of the largest stage in American sports, the NBA. That's right. Caitlin Clark is officially crossing over to the NBA, not as a player, of course, but as the face of NBC's massive relaunch of Basketball Night in America. This is monumental, folks. Consider the timing. Consider the strategy. NBC is reviving the NBA after decades. They have the broadcast rights. They have the nostalgia. They have their iconic roundball rock theme, but they needed more. They needed a spark, a modern icon to connect the old-school Jordan-era fans with the new Gen Z audience. And who did they pick? Did they choose LeBron? Did they select Curry? No, they called the 22-year-old phenom from Iowa, who has single-handedly transformed women's basketball.
At Madison Square Garden. The debut. They picked her to kick it off. Not, yeah, it'll do a couple weeks and then you'll come in. No. We need you to launch this thing, dude. We need you to kick this off, CC.
Let's break down the details because they are absolutely fascinating. Caitlin Clark will make her debut on February 1st, just before the Lakers vs. Knicks game at Madison Square Garden. You literally cannot ask for a bigger stage than that. The Mecca of basketball. LeBron James, the New York market, and Caitlin Clark on the microphone. It is a marketing masterclass. She will join a studio team of absolute legends: Carmelo Anthony, Vince Carter, and Tracy McGrady. 3 Hall of Famers, 3 of the greatest scorers ever to play the game. And sitting right there alongside them will be Caitlin Clark, breaking down the game, analyzing plays, and showcasing her basketball IQ to millions of viewers. Now, why is NBC doing this? Let's be honest. It isn't just because she is a pleasant personality. It is because she is a ratings powerhouse. Remember what happened with Peacock during her college days? NBC placed her record-breaking game behind a paywall, and fans subscribed just to watch her. They know the Caitlin Clark effect is real, and they are counting on her to bring that same passionate, die-hard fanbase to their NBA coverage. They are leveraging her star power to launch their most expensive, most important sports property. That says everything about her current status in the sports hierarchy. She isn't just a WNBA player, she is a global brand. But there's an even deeper layer to this story. Consider the dates. February 1st and then March 29th for the Knicks vs. Thunder game. These dates are strategic. February is right before the NBA All-Star break, and March is just before the WNBA season ramps up. This keeps her in the public eye, maintains her relevance, and keeps the Indiana Fever brand alive during the off-season. And we cannot ignore the elephant in the room, the potential WNBA lockout. If the season is delayed, as insiders predict, this NBC role could expand. Caitlin could become a regular fixture on Sunday nights, essentially becoming the face of basketball on television while labor negotiations continue. It is a brilliant backup plan for her, and ensures continued visibility. Imagine the dynamic on that set. Vince Carter, the greatest dunker of all time, T-Mac, one of the smoothest scorers ever, and Melo, the king of the mid-range. Then there's Caitlin, the queen of the logo 3. The conversations about scoring, spacing, and reading defenses will be pure basketball nirvana. I can already see the viral clips. Caitlin asking Melo about his jab step, Vince asking Caitlin about her range. This will be must-watch television, not just for the analysis, but for seeing NBA legends treat her as a peer, as an equal in basketball knowledge. It will do wonders for the perception of the women's game.
One tease about what might be coming during Clark's debut appearance. We're hoping to have Caitlin with a basketball in her hand. That's not a tease. That's not a tease. You're not teasing the shoe, right? You're not teasing.
And speaking of viral moments, producer Sam Flood teased something huge. He mentioned that they hope to have Caitlyn with a basketball in her hand on set. Now, what does that mean? Are we going to see a shooting contest between her and Reggie Miller if he stops by? Are we going to watch her break down her own shooting mechanics? Or, and this is the theory setting the internet on fire, are we about to see the debut of her signature shoe? Nike has been very quiet about the release. What better stage to unveil the most anticipated shoe of the year than on national television at Madison Square Garden with millions watching? It would be the ultimate marketing flex. Critics may argue, oh, she has no experience. She is too young. But consider the fact that she has been in front of cameras her entire life. She did a Manningcast-style alternate broadcast for the Final Four and was incredible, natural, funny, and insightful. She hopped into the Yankees booth and held her own. She is comfortable in the spotlight and honestly, her basketball IQ is off the charts. She sees the game differently, recognizing angles and passing lanes others don't. Bringing that perspective to an NBA broadcast is fresh, exciting, and exactly what NBC needs to distinguish itself from the robotic analysis sometimes seen on other networks. This move also strengthens the connection between the NBA and the WNBA. For years, the two leagues have felt separate, but having the face of the WNBA analyzing NBA games creates a bridge. It tells NBA fans, if you respect her analysis, you should respect her game. It is cross-promotion at its finest and will benefit both leagues. Viewership for the WNBA is already surging, but this exposure to casual NBA fans on Sunday nights could push it into the stratosphere once the season tips off. Let's not forget the business side for Caitlyn herself. She is already signed with Xfinity, owned by Comcast, the parent company of NBC. So this synergy was inevitable, but seeing it execute so quickly is impressive. She is maximizing her earning potential, building her post-playing career resume at age 22, and cementing herself as a media personality. Most players wait until retirement for this transition. Caitlyn is doing it in her prime, while arguably the most famous athlete in America. That is a level of business savvy rarely seen. So, what can we expect on February 1st? High energy, deep basketball insights, NBC treating her like royalty. She is not being brought in to sit in the back. She will be front and center, likely breaking down the Lakers' offense, critiquing LeBron's passing, or analyzing Jalen Brunson's footwork. Hearing her perspective on today's NBA stars will be fascinating because her style mirrors the modern NBA game. High-volume threes, pace, and space. She is the perfect analyst for this era. There is also the cool factor. NBA pregame shows can sometimes feel stale, old heads reminiscing about back in my day. Caitlyn brings youth relevance and speaks the language of the younger generation. Her presence instantly makes the show feel fresher and more must-watch. NBC knows they are aiming to capture the TikTok generation, and there is no better cheat code than Caitlyn Clark. In conclusion, this is a win-win-win. A win for NBC, getting the biggest star in sports. A win for the NBA, receiving fresh eyes on their product. And a huge win for Caitlyn Clark and the WNBA, expanding their reach to a massive audience. February 1st will be historic. Mark your calendars. Basketball night in America just got a lot more interesting. And I have a feeling this is only the beginning of Caitlyn Clark's takeover of sports media. Tell me in the comments. Are you tuning in just to see Caitlyn? And do you think she will outshine the Hall of Famers on the desk? I think she just might. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on this developing story. See you in the next one.